Okay, a white label wrapped around a rectangular box with square bases covers 80% of the lateral surface area of the box. Find the length x of the box. Okay, so there's a really fast and easy way of doing this, okay, but it requires a little bit of understanding about what's going on. Okay, number one, we're looking for the lateral surface area, so we're only looking for the area that goes around the sides. We're not including the bases here. Okay, so to find the lateral surface area, we find the area of each side. So when we do this, what we're going to do is we're going to take the box, right, which is x inches long, and times it by 3, so we have 3x, and we have 4 sides that are all that same length, so we're going to times that by 4. So we end up with 12x. Then we can do it for the paper label. We're going to do the same thing, 6 times by 3, because that's the one side of this. Okay, and when there's 4 sides which are all the same because of the square base, so it's going to be times by 4. 6 times 3 is going to be 18. 18 times by 4 is going to be like, I can't do that off the top of my head. Let's grab our calculator. Let's do 18 times by 4, and that's going to give us 72. Okay. Now, what this is saying is here that the white label wrapped around the rectangular box with square bases covers 80% of the lateral surface area. Okay, what we're saying is that this 72 is 80% of this 12x of the whole thing here. Okay, so what we can do is we can use our formula that A is equal to P times by W and say that, hey, 72 is equal to our percent, which we know is going to be 80, so it's going to be 0.8 because it's got to be in decimal form, times by our whole, which would be 12x. And at this point, we can just go solve for x. So we can say divide both sides by 0.8. So I can grab my calculator and say 72 divided by 0.8 is going to be equal to 90. So I'm going to have divide by 0.8, divide by 0.8. This is going to go away. I'm going to have 90 is equal to 12x, divide by 12, divide by 12, and 90 divided by 12 is going to be equal to 7.5. And we should be able to check our answer here, and we see 12.5, or sorry, 7.5. And we're good. Okay, that's kind of the long way and kind of the way that you're supposed to do this. Okay, there's a lot easier way of doing this. Okay, when we're looking at this, we need to understand that this 3 times by 4 shows up in both of these equations, right? We have 3 times by 4, we have 3 times by 4. So if we know this, then we can actually rewrite this equation and just remove those two pieces. Okay, and we end up seeing that 6 is 80% of W, or some unknown number. So we'd say 6 is equal to 0.8 times by W, dividing both sides by 0.8, and we end up with W is equal to 7.5. And I'm just going to throw this in my calculator, make sure I understand what I'm saying. Nope, nope. So 6 divided by 0.8 is equal to 7.5. Okay, so there are a lot of easier ways of doing this, especially if we recognize those things there. Okay, just take your time and be careful.